இன்னும் 5 minutes இருக்குல்லங்க. ஷார்ப் 5 ஸ்டார்ட். யார் வெயிட்? லைவ் கனெக்ட் மொபைல்ல நீங்க போட்டிருக்கீங்களா? ஐசிசிஎஸ் எடிட்டர் அக்கௌண்ட்ல இருந்து நீங்க லாகின் கொடுத்து நான் வேற அக்கௌண்ட் இருந்தேன். லாவன் அப்படி சிரிக்க கூடாது. மேடம் நீங்க தானே ஹோஸ்ட்? ஏன்டா என் சிஸ்டம்ல லாவண்யா உங்க கண்டென்ட்ல பிரின்சிபால வெல்கம் பண்ணிடுறீங்கல்ல? நான் உங்களை வெல்கம் Shall we start the program? Sir, is this audible?
Yes, sir. We can start now.
Yes, sir.
What about Mr. Srinivasan? It's okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We can start, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
okay,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Very good evening to one and all. I would like to initiate the program in front of our SLS MAVMM College Principal and Associate Professor of Computer Science, Dr. Srinivasan, sir. I would like to call Ms. Lavanya ma'am to give a brief welcome address regarding this program.
Thank you, sir. Good evening to all. On behalf of SLS MAVMM Ayira Vaisyar College, it is my honor and privilege to extend a warm welcome to each one of you to the 6th National Research Workshop on Data Analytics using Python, hosted by SLS MAVMM Ayira Vaisyar College. We are privileged to have with us a distinguished panel of experts who will share their knowledge, insights, and experience in this fascinating field. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our keynotes and guest speakers. Mr. S.M. Jayaraman, Secretary of SLS MAVMM Ayira Vaisyar College, who continued supported and vision have made this workshop possible. Dr.G. Sivaji Ganesan, Principal of SLS MAVMM Ayira Vaisyar College, whose leadership and vision have always guided our academic initiatives towards excellence. Dr.R.Srinivasan, Associate Professor and Head, SLS MAVMM Ayira Vaisyar College, who has been instrumental in fostering academic growth and research in the field of computer science. Dr.P.Geetha, Assistant Professor at the SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai, who expertise in computational intelligence and data analytics, will enrich our understanding of the subject. Their contribution to the field of data analytics and computational intelligence are truly commendable, and we are fortunate to have them share their knowledge with us today. This workshop aims to provide all participants with a deep dive into the tool techniques and application of data analytics using Python. It's not just an opportunity to learn about the theory, but also to gain hands-on experience and practical skills that can be applied in research industry and academic. Once again, a warm welcome to each one of you. I look forward to productive and enriching session. Thank you.
Thank you, Lavanya ma'am, for giving the brief introduction about this program and the speakers and the keynote speakers and the dignitaries from the SLS MAVMM Ayurvedic College, Madurai. I would like to call our principal, Dr.G.Sivaji Ganesan, sir, to give a keynote address regarding this program.
Thank you, sir. Sir, it is audible?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Audible, sir.
Okay. Honorable patron of this workshop, Thiru S.M. Jayaraman, Secretary, SLS MAVMM Ayira Vaisyar College, esteemed Dr. Satish Kumar, founder, SK Research Group of Company, who is an instrument for this program, distinguished resource person of this workshop, Madam Dr. P.Geetha, Assistant Professor in Department of Computational Intelligence, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, SRM University, Chennai, my beloved Professor Dr.R.Srinivasan, Associate Professor and Head of the Department of Computer Science, SLS MAVMM Ayira Vaisyar College, who is the headline speaker of this program, respected Madam Ms. Lavanya, faculty research group of companies, respected Madam Mrs.T.Saranya Devi, Project Manager, Research and Development Wing, SK Research Group of Company, who will give the vote of thanks. My dear faculty members of SLS MAVMM Ayira Vaisyar College, other faculty members from various colleges, research scholars, and students, a warm good evening to all. I am very happy to organize this workshop. The title of data analytics using Python, jointly by Department of Computer Science, SLS MAVMM Ayira Vaisyar College, and SK Research Group of Company. At the outset, I am very grateful to our Secretary, Mr. S.M. Jayaraman, for having given permission to organize this workshop. About the Python, the importance of Python. We are living in a digital world that is completely driven by chunks of code. Every industry like healthcare, military, banking, researchers, and so on depends on software for its proper functioning. We have a huge list of programming languages that facilitates the software development process. One of these is Python, which has emerged as very simple coding and exciting programming language. As per a recent survey, it is observed that Python is the main coding language for more than 80% of developers. The main reason behind this is its extensive libraries and frameworks that fuel up the process. Python has been at the forefront of web developments, machine learning and artificial intelligence, data science, game development, audio-visual applications, software development, CAD, business application, web scraping application, and so on. So, Python software is convenient for development, enhanced security, fast development process, and so on. With these few words, I conclude my speech. I thank Dr. Srinivasan, Associate Professor and Head of the Department of Computer Science, and SK Research Group of Companies for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. There is have given big information about this program and the speakers also. So I would like to call Dr.R.Srinivasan sir, Associate Professor and Head, to give the headline speak about this program.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I thank our patron for this program, Mr. S.M. Jayaraman sir, our college secretary, and I thank our principal sir, Dr.G.Sivaji Ganesan, who initiated to do well of this research workshop. Today, the topic is data analysis with Python analytics. It is also a very important topic. Two major areas included in this topic. One is the data analytics, and another one is the Python. The two major areas. What is the data analytics? Is the process of exploring and analyzing large data sets to make the prediction, boost data-driven and decision-making. Data analytics allow the collect and clean the transform the data to derive the meaningful insights. It helps them answer the question and hypothesis or disprove the theories. There is a vast wide area of using the data analysis in the e-commerce and banking sectors and the healthcare sector, and the data analytics using the inventory management and the logistic companies, marketing professionals, and data analytics can be using for the city planning to build the smart cities. So it is a very important one today. The data analytics, this is the main area of this workshop. And another one is the Python. The Python is the easy to learn and understand, has a simple syntax. The program language is scalable and flexible. It is a vast collection of libraries for numerical computation and data manipulation. Python provides libraries for graphics and data visualization to build the plots. The broad community support to help solve many kind of queries. So the using of the Python in data analytics is very useful and very innovative. Today we are speaking about the AI. For the AI, the Python library codes are very useful. So today the topic is very, very important for this current field, data analytics. So I thank Mr. Dr. Sarish choose this wonderful topic for us. Once again, I thank our speaker, Dr. P.Geetha, Assistant Professor, Department of Computational Intelligence, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, and all other staff from other colleges and faculty members and students. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Srinivasan, sir, for the headline speak about this program. And I would like to welcome Dr. Geetha, ma'am, to start your session, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you. I'm Dr. P.Geetha, Assistant Professor, Department of Computational Intelligence, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai. Today, I will be talking about data analytics using Python. And before that, it's a great pleasure to honor you all at this moment. SLS MAVMM, Ayira Vaisyar College, Management, Principal, Head of the Department, and the faculties. And especially SKR group of companies, Dr. M. Satish Kumar sir, Ms. V. Lavanya, and Ms. Saranya Devi. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. And I want to make sure this session is as interactive as possible. And before going to start the session, I'll share my PPT now.
Ma'am, irukangla? Geetha, ma'am. Check பண்ணும்.
Hope this PPT is visible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Yes, okay.
Yes, visible. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Today I will talk about the topic data analytics using Python. What is data analytics? What is data analytics in the sense it is the process of using data. And data analytics, we must make use of the tools and techniques to analyze the raw data. And after analyzing the raw data, we can able to find or we can able to extract actionable insights. So it converts a raw data into the results. So it includes a range of tools, technologies, and processes that can use to find the trends and solving the problems by using the data. So the data analytics, it can shape the processes and improve the decision-making process. And it will also use to involve the business growth. So for example, a company analyzes the sales data to determine the monthly average sales over the past year. So it must calculate the mean value of the sales figures and make use of the charts to chart or a plot or a graph to visualize the sales trend. So what the data analytics? What it does? So it helps the organizations. It helps the organizations to make it better decisions. Improve processes and optimize the products and services. So not only the companies, with companies, it can deep understanding of their customers and their problems. It involves a variety of techniques, including the statistical analysis and machine learning, to examine the current and past data to predict the future trends. So it is the process of collecting, transforming, and organizing the data in order to draw conclusions, make predictions, that should be the informed decision making. How it is used? So data analytics is used in a variety of commercial industries and by scientists and researchers, educators. Okay, it all are using nowadays data analytics. So it is a science of analyzing the raw data to make a conclusions about the information. So it will be used to optimize its performance, and it can perform more efficiently and maximizes the profits or make more strategically guided decisions. And basically, there are four kinds of analytics. One is a descriptive, and second one is a diagnostic, third one is predictive, and fourth one is a prescriptive analytics. So if it is a descriptive, what happened? What happened in this? Diagnostic in this, why did it happen? And if it is a predictive, what is likely to be happen in the future? And prescriptive in the sense, what is the best of action? So that is based upon how it is used, based upon the analytics, types of analytics, what it involves. So data analytics involves mathematical way, statistics, and computer science. So computer science to draw insights from the data sets. There must be a theoretical way of collecting the data, creating frameworks to store it, organizing, cleaning up the data, identifying or treating the missing or duplicating the data, or standardizing or normalizing the data, aggregating the data from multiple resources, and to perform the statistical analysis through test, and to spot anomalies, and to find the patterns in the data. So there must be various approaches to data analytics, include a descriptive, a diagnostic, and predictive, and prescriptive. So it relies on a variety of software tools, including the spreadsheet, like Excel, data visual Excel or CSV file or data set. And the data visualization, there must be a reporting tool or data mining programs to analyze it, and open source languages. So normally we have an open source now. Normally we use to open source languages, Python, and it must be used to a variety of applications nowadays. So majorly we focused on these applications nowadays: business and marketing, healthcare, finance, manufacturing, education, sports, entertainment, and so on. So if it is a business and marketing based applications, that must be analyzing the customer behavior and preferences about the preferences, products, services, and so on. So the techniques which must be used in this marketing: segmentation, sentiment analysis, customer lifetime value, and prediction, that is commonly used. And second thing, we must focus on the sales historical data to predict the future sales. The personalized advertisements, promotions, and product recommendations based on individual customer data. And finally, market based analysis. So it is used to identify the consumer purchasing habits, to optimize the product placement, promotions, and cross selling. So, and that is based upon these are all the insights of business and marketing applications. And second one is healthcare. Nowadays, mostly used healthcare analytics. So healthcare analytics, which must be used, it's a kind of predictive analytics. So we can able to use the patient data to predict the outcomes such as the disease progression, readmission risk, and response to the treatment. So it can improve the patient care and reduce the cost. And second way, that is a clinical decision support. And it must be used to help the clinicians to make a more accurate decisions and enhancing the patient care. And the health management has been improved a lot. So while we are monitoring and analyzing the data from the health, different health sources, insurance claims or patient data to identify the trends and improve the public health strategies. And moreover, we used drug discovery. So analyzing the clinical trial data and biomedical research to identify potential drugs and treatment strategies or disease biomarkers. So these are all the insights which were used to data analytics nowadays. Third one, finance. Finance, in the sense, it must be mainly used to detect unusual patterns of activity, that is fraud detection, and helping to prevent the financial losses and risk management. So analyzing that operational way or operational and market data to access and invest the loans business operations, and credit scoring. So that must be used to identify the customer financial data, credit, debit, or determine the likelihood of default. So these are all the applications focused on the finance. And the fourth one is manufacturing. So manufacturing, it must be used to quality control. So that we have our data from production lines to detect defects, identify the root causes, and improve the product quality. And we can also use the sensors to predict when equipment is likely to fail, or enabling the proactive maintenance or reducing the downtime. And third one is process optimization. So it will be analyzing the production data to streamline the operations. It will reduce the waste and improve the efficiency. And finally, we used education, sports, and entertainment applications. We can able to analyze the student performance, student data to identify the trends, predict the academic performance, and we can also able to offer the personalized learning path, learning environment, and that can also be used in a curriculum improvement. So we must be able to understand the courses, resources that must be more effective for student engagement and achievement. And third one is dropout prediction. So we must be able to identify the risk factors of our students through predictive analytics and easily intervention to reduce the dropout rates. So these are all the applications while we are using data analytics nowadays. And data, next one is we focused on the data analytics life cycle. Whatever the data we have to analyze, that must be focused on the life cycle. So it should be the 7 steps. 7 steps based on the methodology. Understanding the business use case, data requirements, preparing the data, exploring and visualizing the data, modeling, analyzing the data, evaluation and visualization, operationalization. So we must understand the business use cases along with the issues. When we are presenting a data project, we'll be given a brief introduction or outline of the expectations. We must be able to know the key objectives that the business is trying to cover. We should examine the overall scope of the work, business objectives, information about the stakeholders, and the type of analysis we want to use, and the deliverables that will be the output of the project. So we must know the key points and about the use cases. And second one is understanding the data requirements, understanding the data set. So there are a variety of tools we can use to organize our data. So when we are presenting a small data set, we must make use of Excel to explore or prepare our data. Or Python, Tableau desktop, that can also used to help prepare our data. It's for mainly used for data manipulations. So we must identify the key variables to help the categorization of the data. When we are going through the data sets, we should also look over the errors in the data. So logically, that will not the data does not logically make sense. Duplicate data, even spelling errors. So missing variables needs to be amended so we can properly clean our data. And the next one is the preparing our data. So once we have organized and identified all the variables in our data set, we can begin cleaning. So we will get the input missing variables, create a new broad categories to help the categorize the data that doesn't have a proper place, and remove any duplicates in our data. And imputing average data scores for categories where there are missing values will help the data to be processed. and it can be more efficiently processed without skewing any data. And the next one is we have to explore and visualization of the data. So perform exploratory data analysis and modeling. In this step, we can begin our building model to test our data and find the answers to the given objectives. So we have a different statistical modeling methods to determine which one is the best for our data. So commonly we have a linear regressions, decision tree, random forest modeling, among others. So we must perform the exploratory data analysis and modeling the data. And the next one is evaluation, modeling, analyzing the data, and after that, data evaluation. So, evaluation and validate the data. So, once we have crafted our models, we will able to access the data, determine if we have the correct information for our deliverable outputs. Did the models work properly? Does the need more cleaning? Did you find the outcome of the client was looking to answer? If not, you may need to go through the steps again, and we should sort out the trial of lot of trial and error, and finally we get the model as we can get the best model to evaluate it. And finally, operationalization. So visualize and present our findings. Once we have all the deliverables met, we have met all the conditions, we can begin our data visualization. So data visualization will be a crucial part in communicating our findings to the client. Not all the clients are data savvy. And interactive visualization tools like a Tableau are tremendously useful. Microsoft Power BI is nowadays used to illustrate our conclusions with the clients. So for these data analytics, we must make use of Python. So nowadays Python is a programming language that is mainly used for general purpose programming. It should be an interpreter, or it should be a high level language, or it should be a object oriented language, and it is easy to learn language with a simple syntax, and it can be learned by everyone who knows how to program in any other language like a C, Java, JavaScript, or anything. So it's a syntax like languages, easy to use and learn, open source language, and it must make use of dynamic memory allocation, and it can have extensive libraries, supporting libraries, and it can be mainly used for desktop GUI applications, business applications, database access, web application development, and it supports both mathematical and AI, artificial intelligence. So first we will have a look into the key insights of data analytics using Python. We have a libraries. So Python have a variety of libraries, powerful libraries that make a data analysis efficient and accessible. So we have a set of libraries like a NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, Skype, and Skitlearn, Stats Model, Dask. These are all the libraries we used for analyzing the data. And the second feature is data wrangling and pre-processing. So it is mainly used for data wrangling and pre-processing before going to analyze the data. Handling the missing values, correcting outliers, dealing with the inconsistent data or with the data types common. These are all the inconsistent data types. These are all the common pre-processing steps. And data transformation. So we have to reshape the data. Like we want to pivot the melting or merging of the data, whatever we want. Normalization and scaling the data. So that we have a skitlearn that we can have a standard scalar, min-max scalar to scale the features. And third one is exploratory data analysis. Nowadays we use the EDA. So it will be used to examine the data set visually and statistically to discover the patterns and spot and analyze, test hypothesis. And it must be used in descriptive statistics. And we can able to do the summary of statistics like mean, median, mode, variance, and standard deviation. And it must be used in correlation analysis. It must be used in data visualization and dimensionality reduction. So we have a principal component analysis to help reduce the number of features, making analysis simpler and more interpretable. And statistical analysis. So we have a support of Python supports statistical analysis, which make inferences about the data and validating hypothesis testing, regression analysis, time series analysis. These are all the statistic analysis techniques that must be used. Machine learning and predictive analytics. So that will have a machine learning libraries, make it easy to apply machine learning techniques to solve the real world problems, whether it may be a supervised learning, unsupervised learning, or reinforcement learning. If it is a supervised learning, we must make use of a classification and regression tasks to be performed with skit-learn and using algorithms such as decision tree, random forest, a support vector machine, or nearest neighbor algorithm. If you are using unsupervised techniques, clustering techniques like k-means, hierarchical clustering, these are all the unsupervised techniques. And finally, we must evaluate the model, right? So by like a cross validation. So that is, you have to perform the confusion matrix, correlation matrix, or precision recall analysis. These are all the essential things to evaluate the model performance. And data visualization. Whatever the data you have analyzed, there must be an important thing to visualize the data. So it helps to present the results effectively. So for the data visualization, we have the libraries in Python, that is Matplotlib, Seaborn, Plotly. So these are all the libraries we use to data analytics, data visualization. And next, it can be used in data analytics. Python, which can also integrate with the big data frameworks like Apache Spark for distributed computing, PySpark, or Dask. Dask that is used for parallel computing. PySpark, which is also used for distributed data processing. So that can be used to big data analytics. It can be used large scale data sets. And finally, that is automation and reporting. And automation and reporting, we have a Jupyter notebook that is a tool which we are used for documenting the analysis process, combining the code execution, visualization, and that should be in an interactive notebook way. So automated reporting. So we have a libraries report lab for PDF generation, Jinja 2, Jinja 2 for templating, Matplotlib or Platy for embedding the visualization. So we can, these are the tools which were used to for automate the reporting. So these are all the things, these are all the key insights why we are using data analytics. So we have a set of Python libraries, Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, Seaborn, TensorFlow, Keras, Scipy, PyTorch, Scrappy, SQL model. So these are all the set of libraries we used. Now, so NumPy is a powerful computing library in Python, which can use a multidimensional arrays, matrices. It can also perform a mathematical functions. And pandas, which must be used in a data manipulation and analysis. So it can offering the data structures like a data frame for efficient data handling, cleaning, and exploration techniques. And third one is a Matplotlib. It can be 2D plot library. It can be a 2D plot library. It can be widely used for creating a static, interactive, and animated visualization. And Seaborn, which is mainly used for statistical data visualization, which is used for informative statistical graphics. And TensorFlow and Keras, that TensorFlow, which must be used for machine learning algorithms, Keras, which must be used for deep learning models, and Scipy, which is used for scientific computing, that is mathematics, science, engineering. It can provide additional function of optimization, integration, interpolation, and so on. And the next one, PyTorch, which is also used to model the modeling techniques, test the model, which were used in machine learning algorithms. And Scrappy, which were used in web crawling, web-based development. And we have a SQL model that we can interact with SQL databases. We can also have a Dask environment to connect with the SQL database coded with the execute the query with the Python environment. We can have a stats model, Keros, that is we can we can have a data deep learning models, and it can have user friendly interfaces also. So these are all the top 10 Python libraries. Now let us move. Let us see the demonstration part. How the libraries can be used for data analytics. Hope the screen is visible, right, sir? So first one is we'll start off with NumPy with NumPy and simple libraries. So NumPy library, which can be used for scientific computing and data science. So it's a core package which were used in Python. It is mainly used to perform a mathematical and logical calculations on arrays and matrices. So we can able to perform the array formation, indexing, sorting of an array, and advanced indexing and array slicing, element wise operation. So we can working with arrays. So for that we can use NumPy. And second one is we have a SIMPy library, that is known as symbolic mathematics. So we can able to have a set of equations. We can able to solve a creation of equations, solving the equations, and simplifying the expression. So mathematical, we can able to simplify the statement symbolically, and creating variables and functions, and we can able to generate a reference variables. We can able to perform integration, differentiation, trigonometric series. We can able to perform all the symbolic mathematics. Symbols, whatever the symbols we were used in mathematics, that can perform. So here we have whatever may be the libraries we can use. Before that, we must install it by using pip install. Pip install the library name. So before going to use the libraries, and before that we must install the libraries. That is pip install in NumPy library. After installation, we must import the libraries by using the import statement. Import NumPy as NP as a variable, reference variable. So we have created an array, NumPy array, which contains 5 values of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can able to find the mean directly by calling this mean of array. Array is a summation of all the elements divided by the total number of events. And we can also able to find the standard deviation, root of x minus x bar square divided by a. Okay, so we can able to find the array of values, and can able to find the mean at the time and standard deviation at the time by calling this std, which is used for finding the standard deviation. And the next example, we can have the array that is 5, 6, 7. We can able to find the array average of the given values, and along with that, we can give the weight with the weighted average. So we have the array values, while printing the array values, it will be print and the average of array values and the average of values with the weighted array. And next one is we have a 2 array, that is x and y, that we have a 2 arrays. X array contains 1, 2, 3 and y array contains 4, 5, 6. We can perform the multiplication by using dot product. So 1 into 4, 2 into 5 plus 3 into 6. 1 into 4 plus 2 into 5, 3 into 6. Like that we can able to find the dot multiplication. And we can able to perform this array of values. In this array of values, we can able to find the minimum element as well as the maximum element of the given array. So first one is we can able to display the array in this 3x3 matrix. And second one is in this array of elements, we can able to find the minimum array element as 1. and followed by the maximum element is 98. And we can able to perform a symbolic mathematics. So these are all the simple examples where we are using NumPy library, which must be used for matrices, data frames, and working with the arrays. And next one is symbolic mathematics. Symbolic mathematics, for that we must install the SIMPy library. So here we have a set of equations. So before that we must create or define an equation with the symbols. So whatever the symbols, what are the symbols which were used in the equation, for that we can use it as a symbols. So here in this equation we have xy variables alone. So 2x, 3y, that is 2x plus 3y, 15x plus 3. So this is the way you have to display the equation. So normally it won't display. So suppose if you want to display this equation directly, it should be displayed as it is same. While you are using simple library, it should be represented as an equation format like this. And the next one is we can have a simple expression. We can able to solve the, we can able to display the equation like this: x squared minus 1 minus 4. And not only the creation of equation, we can able to expand the equation. So as we all know, we have a plus b the whole square, that is a square plus 2ab plus b square. So we can have a method, default method, to expand any kind of equation. And next one is expansion of equations over. And the next one is we can able to simplify the expressions. Normally we have the expression sin x square, trigonometric equation sin x square plus cos x square, which is equal to 1. So directly we have to simplify the given expression sin of x square plus cos of x squared. After simplification, it will display 1. And the next one is we can able to limit the expression. So limit of expression, limit with respect to the x to 0, sin x to x, what will be the limit? So it's 0 to 1. And I told you we can able to integrate as well as the differentiate the equations in this. So in this integration, so suppose for an equation sin x into tan x, and integrate with respect to the expression with respect to x of given expression. So sin x into tan x, with this will be the integration results. And we can also able to expand the series, cos x series. So we know the cos x series 1 minus x squared by 2 plus x power 4 by 24 and so on, based on that. So we can able to display the equation in terms of series. And the next one is we can able to differentiate the equation. So normally we have the expression 3x squared plus 1. After differentiation, that will be 6x. So we can have a diff is a method which is used to differentiate the expression and integrate the expression. We have the expression x squared plus x plus 1. After integration with respect to the x, that is x cubed by 3 plus x squared plus x squared by 2 plus x. And we must know the integral, which is also integrate and integral both can be used to integral, which is used to display the equation in this integral form. So integrate, which is used to display the equation after integration, and this will be used to represent the integral equation look like this: log of x squared dx. And we can able to find out the display of Fourier transform series with respect to the x minus e power minus x squared, that is with respect to the x to k, that is some root of pi e power minus pi e power pi squared k squared. So that is we can also able to display the Fourier transform, binomial transform, and so on. And not only this, symbolic mathematics, which can be used for mathematics expression, we can also able to perform the matrix manipulation also in an easiest form. So normally we have the array of values, that is data frames, we have used to display the matrix format in terms of rows and columns. Normally data frames, it's a table-like structure that can contain rows and columns. So here once you have represented as a matrix in the data frame values, it can be represented as a matrix values. It can be assigned as a rows and columns. Suppose if you have to assign a matrix as a vector format, that you can assign it in terms of x, y, z. So x in this column, y 163, y 456, 789 z. So if you want to transpose a given matrix, that is we can perform it by using A dot T, A as a matrix, T as a transpose. We can able to find the determinant of a given matrix by DET. And we can able to perform the inverse of a matrix by using INV. And if you want to perform the multiplication and multiplying with the vector values, it can done by using vector values. So this is the results of creation of array, determinant of a matrix, inverse of the matrix, and matrix multiplication with the vector value. And the next one is we can able to find the array of values. In this array of values, we can able to find the minimum and maximum. And array of values in the sense it can be used as a data frame. And the next thing is we can able to find the mean value, median of a given array of values, and standard deviation, and we can able to find the variance also. And finally, the next one is we can able to find the weighted average also. The next one is we can see about the use of pandas libraries. So normally the pandas libraries which can be used for data analysis and manipulation. Normally we know that the data cleaning, data exploration, data preparation, data visualization, analyzing the data or time series analysis, whatever maybe we have worked with the data sets. So these are all the function: analysis, cleaning, exploring, and manipulating the data. So in this we can use a Python libraries. So in this here we have three different kinds of data sets we were used to analyze the data. One is the data frame, and second one is the Excel file, Excel data file, and CSV file. And first one is we have to create a data frame. The data frame contains rows and columns, and we have a name and age, which contains 3 rows of values and columns. So the name and age, it should be represented as a table structure. So after creation of a data frame, we must be able to display the data in this data frame, that is the data frame of data. It should be displayed like this. And the next one is we can this is the way you have to create a data frame, and through this data frame we can perform any kind of data analysis or addition, subtraction, or any kind of data. Suppose if you want to analyze the data, in the sense we can able to know any kind of data file. So here we have a sales data. So if we have any Excel file, you can upload the data directly to this. So we have to upload the data in this column. So we can get the data from this. We can have a data from this, and you can upload it. After uploaded, it can be used. So it should be the path of displaying the data. So sale data XLS file. So it should be the path of displaying this kind of data. Whatever may be the Excel file or a data set or a CSV file, we can upload it directly through this way. Suppose now we have to read this Excel file. Once we have read, we must know the first few rows of the data frame. For that, we must use the head method, first 5 rows. And tail method, we can able to display, we can able to know the last 5 rows of the data. So in this data, sale data.xls file, which contains the data, that is order date, region, manager, salesman, item, units, unit price, and sale amount. So this will display the first 5 rows. It starts from 0 to 4. And the tail, in the sense, last 5 rows, it will display 40 to 44. So that is what totally which contains 0 to 44 and 45 rows of columns here. So it should be displayed by calling this data. And if you want to know the basic information about the data set, for example, column names, what kind of data type is that, for that we can use the variable of dataset.info, and describe method, which can be used for summarization of statistics method. What are the summarization of statistics method we have? We can able to find the mean of a particular mean, minimum value, and percentile values of 50%, 25%, 75%, or maximum, or we can able to find the standard deviation. So once you have to call this method of describe, which can able to display the statistics of statistical data of particular numerical columns what we have present in this Excel file. So here, the first one is it will be used to display the information about the columns and the data type. And second one is it is used to display the statistics method. And the next one is we must be able to know the missing values, right? We must be able to clean up the data. So for that, we must know the missing values. So we must able to count the null values in the column. So he is null, count the null values, he is null of some method. And we have to print the column names. So we must be able to find the missing columns. These are all the missing columns. And here units, unit price 11, that will not have a missing columns. And we can able to find the missing columns and remove the rows that contains a null values. We have we know the values of missing in this columns. Okay, so that will be removed by using drop NA method. So drop NA method, which is drop the rows with the missing values, that will use to remove the rows which contains a null values. And if we'll drop a whole column, in the sense we can able to set it as axis which is equal to 1. So here this is once you have executed, and this will remove the rows that contains a null values. And after that, and we must be able to find the duplicates. Okay, so we can able to find the duplicates, duplicate rows. We can able to find the duplicate rows, and that can be removed. So drop duplicate, that can be used to remove the duplicate records. So these are all the after removal of dropping the duplicate records, it will. And the next one is, in this data set, we know that a salesman, right? So salesman, that should be replaced as a salesperson. So we should rename the column by old column name followed by the new column name as salesperson. So after that, we must able to know whether the column has been replaced. So previously you have noticed that can be salesman. So after renaming of this column, it can be replaced by the salesperson. Okay, and the next one is, we must be able to give a set of conditions to retrieve such kind of data. So here we have a unit. So we have to filter out the data where the unit that must be greater than 50. So here we have the unit data that must be less than 50 also, but we must be able to retrieve the data of unit that is greater than 50. It must be displayed here. And the next thing is, we must be able to group by the column. So we can able to aggregate the combining or merging of two columns to create a new column. And suppose, for example, in this we have an item aggregate of unit price, and we can able to find the mean value of a unit price. So we can have a set of items. What are the items? We have cell phone, desk, home theater, and so on. So, and we have based on the item, we can have a set of unit prices, and we can able to find the mean of a particular item. So based on that, it can be displayed. And the next one is, and we have a new column that is based upon the existing columns. We can able to create the new columns based upon the existing columns by combining or adding or subtracting, or you can perform any kind of methods to create a new column. So here we have a units and unit price column that must be multiplied to create a new column as unit price. So previously there is no unit price, only units and unit price columns will be displayed. So we have created a new column that is unit price, that will be multiplied with the unit and number of units into unit price. So, and you have to print the column whether the creation of newly created column has to be displayed. Yes, it is displayed by using DF columns. And we must be able to know the head displays the first 5 columns of first 5 records of a given data. So unit and unit price, and we have a newly created column that must be multiplied with the unit and unit price, that is 95 into 1198. And we can also able to perform sorting the values. So that is kind of manipulation. So we have to sort the values of a region wise, and that should be ascending as false. So we have to sort the values based on the region. So if we have a region of west, east, and central, and null value. So if you are using ascending as a true, it will be displayed like a alphabetical order: central, east, west. Okay, and this is the way we have to sort out the values in a given Excel data. And the next one is, we can these are all the ways to explore as well as manipulating the Excel data. And once we have manipulated, and finally you must create a new file, that is we can able to read that Excel file. that is output.xl, and the index should be 5. So after execution of a particular, so the cleaned data frame to a newly created Excel file, the name of that Excel file has been output.xlx. So and the file has been replaced here. The file has been created here. So the file contains the data, first 5 rows of output.xl file. After cleaning up the data, after manipulation, what will be this? Final data. So that must be created a new lead Excel file and it must be stored here. And the next one is, so here we discussed an UMPI and pandas. The next one is we have a matplotlib. So matplotlib, which will be used to create a visualization such as plot or a histogram or bar chart or scatter plot, and that is histogram, which is used to distribute the data, and scatter plot, which is used to create a relationship between the variables x and y, whatever, so which can make the data more easily understandable. If it is a diagrammatic way, it is mostly easily understandable. So we can able to create a visualization, and through this matplotlib we can able to customize the style, and we can able to export the visualization to any kind of file format like a PDF format, or we can have a BMP, GIF or a JPG file. So we can also able to save this image as JPG or GIF or any kind of export visualization formats, and which can also use to embed in this Jupyter notebook also, and which can not only the 2D graph, we can also able to perform a 3D plotting also. So this matplotlib, which can be used to create interactive and animated visualizations, that must be done in Python. So what are the animations we have in this? First one is, we have in this data set, we have a unit price, right? Previously we have a sale data Excel file. In that sale data, we have a column as unit price, and we can plot the line, and it must be showed here. So we have to show the line graph based upon the unit price. And second one is, we have to create a bar chart based on the region wise. So we must know the regions are the central, east and west. So we must create a bar chart with the region wise. Okay, and these two are the main thing we have used here. And the next one is normally how to create a line chart. We have xy direction, right? So x axis and y axis. X axis like 1 to 5 and y axis like a 2 to 2 4 x 6 8 10. So we have put it as a label as x axis and y axis, and create a title as simple line plot. So we have to create a line plot which contains 1 to 5 and it can y direction 2 4 6 8 10. And this is the way we have to create a plot. And the next thing is which is also used to create a plot look like this, and which contain the values and give the axis of values also. And the next one is, and the next thing is, we can also able to illustrate the linear plotting. We can have three data frames. One is a year, and this must be used to electricity or power consumption data. That can be the data frame named as India and Bangladesh. So we have a plot that is India, that must be represented as an orange color labeled as India, and Bangladesh, that will be green. I mean, it must be Bangladesh. And the X label are represented as a years, and Y labels are represented as power consumption in kilowatts per hour. And the title of this graph, that is electricity consumption per capita, India and Bangladesh, and it will show. So this is the way it will show the graph. And the next one is, we can also able to perform this graph in dashed line. Suppose we have a plot that contains India and India data frame values, color orange, and we can set it as mark O, and the marker size which contains 12. And here this will be the dashed one, and the line width of the dashed line as 2. So this is the way you have to represent the same kind of data to display in a different way. And in this matplotlib, we can also able to generate a random data. So it can have a random array of values. So we can able to create a scatter plot which can be used to create a relationship between the variables. So that can used to create a scatter plot with a different color mapping. And we can able to set the color values that can have these values. And the next one is, we can have the next diagram which can be used to display the trigonometric function. One is a sin x and another one is a cos x. So it can able to plot this graph sin x con x. And the next one is we can also able to create a subplots. So subplots that is can be displayed as one is a linear plot which can contains x value which x is represented as 1 to 5, and the double plot which can have x squared that is 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, and square value and square of 1, 2, 3, 4 value, 3, 4, 5 and q values. So it can able to create a subplots, and the subplots which can be represented as a 2 cross 2 matrix. So 1 0 0 it can be represented as the first one 0 1 1 0 or 2 1 1. So we can able to create a matrix format. In this through this matrix format we can able to plot the graph like this. And we can also able to create different kinds of plot. So one is these are all the plots which may have a set of values, different values, and only these are all the plots. And here we have created a subplots. One is a plot, and second one is a scatter plot, and third one is a bar, and fourth one is a histogram. And the next one is uh, we can have a second next data analysis. So we have discussed already about Excel file data frame analysis, data frame data. And the next one is we can have a smartwatch data analysis using Python. So for that we can upload the file CSV comma separated value files of daily activity merged smartwatch data. So in this this CSV file which contains source, participant ID, timestamp, total steps to be taken by the person, distance, tracker distance, logged activities, very active distance, moderately active distance, light active distance, and these are all the columns which must be included in the CSV file. So if you are using this, automatically it will display the first 5 rows, and it will be null values which will be used to remove the null values, and information about the CSV files, about the data, about the number of columns. And we can able to find the calculation here, total minutes, and here you must know this will contains that is smartwatch analysis which contains more number of rows. So here we can able to find the total minutes, so which can able to add the very active minutes, fairly active minutes plus lightly active minutes and sedentary minutes, and finally it will print and create a new column which will be in the name of total minutes, and finally you can display the 5 values of sample. So these are all the things that is total minutes. Suppose if you want to describe about the information, that is summary statistics of all the columns. So here finally we have added what is the total minutes. It has been added, and the summary statistics of the newly created column of the total minutes. And here we can able to find the missing values of total minutes also. And finally how to plot the graph using scatter plot. So in the scatter plot, x which can have x-axis contains a calories, y-axis total steps, and size should be based upon the very active minutes, and trend line that is OLS, and create a title which should be represented as a relationship between calories and total steps. So the figure look like this. So he can, wherever we have to click on this OLS, it will display the calories, total steps and very active minutes. So this is the way we have to create a scatter plot based upon the CSV file. And the next thing is we can able to trace the data. So for this we can have a data frame. One is the label, counts, and third one is a gray. So very active minute that can be represented as a gold color, fairly active minute that can be light green, and so on. So we have to figure out the pie chart based upon the labels and the counts. And update the layout with the title text total active minutes, and we must able to display in this label in terms of percentile. So here we can able to display here, so inactive minutes, and here lightly active minutes 14.2 and very active minutes 1.09, fairly active minutes, and so on. So this is the way you have to display the pie chart. And the next thing is we can have a MNIST data set. So in this data set, we can have, once we have able to read the data set of CSV file of MNIST data set, and we can able to plot the data, and we can, for this data set, we can have a trained data set as well as a test data set. So both here we have a step to merge two data sets, merging of two CSV files. We can able to merge. Normally in SQL, we can able to join the queries with a unique variable. So here is also we have a two data sets. We can able to find out the unique column to merge these two data sets. Okay, so for that we can have load the data set, and finally we can able to display the 10 was there. So and we can able to shape up the data after merging of these two data sets. It contains the 10,000 rows of 785 columns.
Right.
And the next one is that is the merging of data sets, right? And the next one is how the exploratory data analysis using Python has been taken. So here in this exploratory data analysis, I have taken Instagram data. So in this Instagram data, we know Instagram data, normally we have the Instagram data that contains impressions from home, from hashtag, from explore, from other, as if. So these are all the columns that must have included in the CSV file. Okay, and we must able to print the columns, and we must able to know the information and describe about the data, and finally we must able to remove this. And here histogram is used. Here in this we have a histogram we can use to display the impressions, and the title impression that can be displayed in total bins, that is 10 bins we can use to display the impressions and the title of distribution of impressions. Okay, so this is the way you have to display the histogram. So here you can see the impressions. So 10 bins are available, and the impression has been displayed here. And the next one is, do these impressions, how the line chart will be displayed, used to display the impressions over the time. So this will index. So it will show the impressions data.index. The data should be the data, and we have to get the line chart based upon the impression. So here you can see in the index and based upon the impressions. Here this is the way you have to display the impressions over time. And the next one is the next diagram, which will show the scatter plot, and the total, which will show the emotions of likes, saves, and follows. Okay, and it will display the likes, saves, and follows over the time. So it will be used to display metrics over the time. So here we can have all the metrics like a save, follows, and follows from each post over time. So the first one is indicate that will be first one is the first one is like, second one is saves, and third one is follows. You can see second one is saves, and first one is follows, and third one is likes. So we can count the we can, based upon the count and x-axis date wise count of impressions. Likes, saves, and follows will be displayed. And the next one is in this resources we have from home, from hashtag, from explore, from other. So we can get the resources. Get the resources of sources from here, and it should be represented in this color. And finally, it will be displayed in a discrete sequence. So it will this distribution of reach from different resources. So it can able to create a pie chart, right? So here we can that is a label which will be displayed from home, and the value, and it should be displayed in 44.1. So this will be displayed the label wise data. It will reach how the sources will be displayed differently. And the next one is we have comments, right? Save comments, shares, and likes. So how the distribution of engagement sources has been displayed. So it can get the values, and sum of aggregated value should be displayed in this color, and we can able to create a pie chart based upon the matrix. So here in this diagram, how the distribution of engagement sources has been displayed through this pie chart. And the next one is again we can able to display the scatter plot, and how the number of profile visits and follows. So how the number of profile visits, how many of them visited profile, and how many of them follow is here for a particular. And the next one is we can have not only the image and not only the data analytics, we can also able to display the images data set, image analysis, okay, image data, analysis and audio data analysis and video data analysis. So normally we have a set of libraries for image data analysis. So in this library, suppose for example, we used all kind of libraries. Matplotlib also we can use, our pandas, sklearn, our word cloud. So these are all the libraries that can be used for text pre-processing, text analysis. So text analysis in the sense we can have a set of statements, or we can import the document, or we can have a data frame as a sentence, and for that we can able to lowercase the text, or we can able to removing the punctuations, or punctuations numbers or special characters, or removing the stop word like the and is. So we can able to tokenize the words, like splitting the text into words, lemmatization, stemming, or we have can also able to reduce the words to their base form. So these are all the text data analysis. And we can also able to analyze the data based on the feature extraction after these are all the pre-processing, right? So after pre-processing, we can able to convert the text into numerical features, like we can make use of machine learning models to work with the data, so which can have a bag of words, and we can have a term frequency and an inverse document frequency, and it can how the how rare it is across all the documents. So the sentiment analysis we can use to determine the sentiment expressed text, or whether it may be a positive or negative or neutral. So we can also able to analyze the text level data also. And the next one is audio level data. In this audio level data also, we can able to perform audio analysis, depends upon the application. You can able to analyze the audio data by speech recognition, or music classification, or event detection, sound event detection, or we can extract and display the models you trained. So Liberosa library, which can be used to handle mostly audio processing task. And we can also able to handle the video data analysis. So from basic task, the frame extraction, object detection, like motion tracking, action recognition, or OpenCV. Or we can use the OpenCV to OpenCV library. We can use most of the video processing tasks like these, frame extraction, object detection, and all. And we can also use the deep learning frameworks like TensorFlow, Keras, PyTorch, or that can be mainly used. These libraries can be used for video analysis task also. And apart from this, these are all the apart from the data analytics, I mean basic text level, basic data set, and we can also able to analyze the text level data, or audio level data, or video level data. Let us see the example of audio and video level data also. So this is the example we have. So we have this Instagram data, right? So we can able to import the word cloud data, and depends upon the hashtag, it will display the hashtag used in the post using a word cloud. So here you can see the hashtag whatever you have, it can be used in this, imported from the word cloud, and it will display the XY and the color. Okay, so it is this hashtag based upon the images. I mean, based upon the data set. I mean, word data from the word cloud. And the next one is, we can also able to perform the correlation matrix. Sorry. And in this hashtag, we can able to store all the hashtags, and we can able to create a list, and the each and every post that can have a different combination, which may impact the Instagram post. So here you can see a hashtag of big data. We can able to display the count. So based on this, it will be displayed in this descending order, and it will be finally reaches 1. So it will be distribution of hashtags, which must be used in this Instagram data. And the next one is create a dictionary. We can able to store the likes and impressions for each hashtag, and in this we can able to display this. each and every hashtag. So here you can see this see the diagram, which must be the distribution of likes. And the next one is sklearn. So sklearn, that is we can skitlearn. Skitlearn we can use, which can be used to represent the data, representation as well as visualization of data. So normally we have iris data. So whatever it may be, iris data in the sense wherever we can able to know the programming language. Now first we can able to display hello world message. Like that we can, the data set starts from the iris data only. So in this iris data set, we can have a length and width of a sepals and petals. So here in this iris data set, we can have 50 samples, 50 samples of three iris, three types of Setosa or Virginica and Versicolor. So these three samples only we can use to measure the linear model to classify the species. And this data set contains 150 rows. So this data set contains 150 rows under 5 attributes. What are the 5 attributes in the sense? We can have a petal length, petal width, and sepal length and sepal width, and finally the class name should be displayed. So here you can able to display. So once we have to upload the iris data set, and we must able to know the type of iris data set, and what are the keys should be used, that and all the keys which were used in the iris data set. And these are all the names I told you, that is that there are 3 varieties of flowers, Setosa, Versicolor and Virginica. And this will be used to display the number of samples. I told you 150 rows of 4 attributes here. And this data set contains the index, it will be used to display the indices of 12, 26, 89 and 114. And it will display the attributes of petal length, petal width and sepal length, sepal width and so on. And if you want to know the shape of the data set, that is rows and columns. And the next one is, if you want to count the iris target value, that will be the array of 50 values. And the array's target names, as you all know, these are all the types. And the target values which must be represented as the zeros, ones and 2. And this iris data set, suppose if you want to plot the iris data set with different flowers, with a different attributes. So here we can have, Setosa will be displayed as a blue color, Versicolor that is green, and Virginica that is displayed as a green color. And we can able to display these kind of iris data should be in a different color with the scatter, displayed in a scatter way. The data must be displayed in a scatter way. So this is the diagram which much shows. And the next one is this diagram, that is iris data set, which can be used in this red, blue, green, and it must be displayed in this scatter diagram that must be based upon the indexes, and the target names will be the color indexes. So here it can be the variety of what will be the sepal length, and it should be represented as a centimeter. And next one is sepal width, and third one is petal length and petal width of Setosa, Versicolor and Virginica. And finally, how these data sets of iris data set should be represented in the scatter plot, and it should be like this. And the next one is, once you have uploaded all the data sets, and it should be represented in this set and Seaborn also. And we can use these libraries which we can use these libraries to display the data set. And the next one is, and we can able to use a Seaborn data set. Normally Seaborn data set, which is used to create a statistical graphics and visualize the data, and which can able to display the interactive plots. So here we can use the Seaborn libraries, and using this Seaborn libraries, how the diagram scatter plot can be displayed. And this will be the calculation of total bill based upon the tips. So that can have a different data set. So we can load the data set tips, and based on that we can able to find the total bill based upon the tip, and the scatter plot using the Seaborn library. And the next one is Skype library. Skype library, which can also used to perform the t-test model. So we can able to perform the t-test model and the p-value. Is hello, sir. And we can also able to use the skitlearn libraries. In the skitlearn libraries, we can also able to load the iris data set, and which can able to split the data based upon the training as well as the testing data set. Normally we can able to segregate the data as a training data set, as a testing data set, and we can add the features to standardize that, and we can perform the machine learning model of logistic regression to perform the accuracy of a given model. So normally we can have a model that can we can be able to train the data, test the data, and finally evaluate the model based upon the data. And here we can able to display the accuracy through this logistic regression. We can test the iris data, and finally the accuracy will be displayed as 1.0. And the next one is and we can use the stats model. And stats model, it's a library which can be used for estimating or testing statistical models in Python, and it can have a range of statistical models, and it can perform the hypothesis test also. So we can also able to perform the linear regression, which contains the values, and finally what will be the model contains after linear regression analysis, what will be the model contains the coefficient, standard error rate, and t-test performance, and so on. Yes, sir. I stop this presentation now. Any queries?
Participants who have queries, you can contact ma'am. Participants who have any queries?
Sir, how to use Python with online compile, sir?
You can use Google Colab. If you have a Gmail, and you can connect with the Google Colab and open the Colab, and you can execute the Python directly.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other participants? Ma'am, Pandi Kumar sir have been noted message. What is the difference between data analytics and data science?
We can able to analyze the data based upon the data set, that is data analytics. We can able to study about the data techniques, data analysis techniques, that is data science.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Other participants? Feel free to discuss with ma'am. Thank you, Pandi Kumar sir. Any other participants? Ma'am, you can give your number and mail ID in chat box, ma'am. People, they can communicate you in further, because it have been stored in YouTube live also.
Okay, sir.
After the presentation, if the people may ready to ask some suggestions from you, they can contact you through the mail or WhatsApp number.
Sure, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Better you can display in chat box or note
Is there?
our presentation. Yeah, that's received in text box.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Shall we go for vote of thanks?
Yes, sir.
Srinivasan sir, from your end, anything else?
No, sir. No, sir. We'll go and overcome things.
Yes, sir. I would like to call Ms. Saranya Devi ma'am to give a note of thanks for this event.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone. I extend my sincere thanks to all those who made this 6th National Research Workshop on Data Analytics using Python. We are grateful to our patron, Mr. S.M. Jayaraman sir, Secretary of the College, for his unwavering support in organizing this workshop. Our deepest gratitude to our keynote speaker, Dr.G.Sivaji Ganesan, principals of our college, for sharing his valuable insights and inspiring us with his words. A special thanks to Dr.R.Srinivasan, Assistant Professor and Head, for being our headline speaker and providing us with a deeper understanding of the critical role of Python in data analytics. We also extend our heartfelt thanks to Dr.P.Geetha ma'am, Assistant Professor at SRM Institute of Science and Technology, for her informative session on the advancements in computational intelligence and data analytics. Thank you, ma'am. Once again, thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.